You like it or not, anytime something happens with the two of them, one is automatically put as a victim and one is automatically put as someone who needs to be saved. Now, Greeny, let's be honest. If this was the other way around, oh, Lord, you can only imagine how the conversation would have gone.
If this was the other way around, oh, Lord, you could have only imagined how the conversation would have... Oh!
That's right.
Boom! Oh, so this was the other way around. The only difference is one was a hard foul that got called a flagrant, and one was a blatant non-play on the basketball.
Miss Monica McNutt could have figured that out and took a conversation and did something she has never done before that absolutely shocked me that she did today.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just raise his voice this time, he exploded. In front of millions, he did what no one else at ESPN dared to do. He ripped Monica McNutt apart for defending Angel Reese's aggressive play against Caitlin Clark. It all started after a rough play that sent shockwaves through the WNBA. The refs called it flagrant, but that wasn't the end of it. The real firestorm came after the game, when Monica McNutt decided to hop on her platform and defend it. Now here's where things got wild. Instead of calling it what it was, Monica McNutt flipped the script. She said if the roles were reversed, people would have reacted differently. She claimed Caitlin Clark was getting sympathy because she's white, and Angel Reese was being villainized because she's black. But here's what no one expected. Stephen A. didn't just disagree, he unloaded. With laser focus and his signature fire, he slammed Monica's argument, saying it wasn't about race at all. It was about sportsmanship, maturity, and what actually happened on the court.
What is your bigger concern? Caitlin Clark is usually the victim. Angel Reese is usually the villain. Is that your primary concern?
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated.
And for him, Angel had clearly crossed the line. She shoved, taunted, and then hid behind identity politics when the heat turned up. And Stephen A., he was done with the excuses. He called it out for what it was. Bad behavior being defended with even worse logic.
To address Monica McNutt's point, I found it very unfortunate that she would say that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the executive producer of First Take. You ever heard of Monica McNutt? You have now.
And just when it seemed like the segment was over, Stephen A. brought the receipts. He reminded everyone that when Caitlin Clark got shoved, tripped, and elbowed last season, she never reacted like that. She just kept playing. No flopping, no taunting, just ball. Stephen A. didn't stop at the surface. He went straight for the root of the issue. He called out what he described as a growing pattern in sports commentary, defending players not because of what they did, but because of who they are. He looked straight into the camera and asked the question that stopped the room cold. Why does Angel Reese get a pass for everything? He pointed out that Angel Reese has built her brand on being loud, confrontational, and unapologetic. And sure, that's fine, until she crosses the line and starts targeting players with reckless behavior. Then, when someone calls her out, the story flips. Suddenly it's about race. Suddenly it's about bias. But Stephen A. wasn't having it. He brought up the LSU-Iowa championship game, the one where Angel Reese mimicked Caitlin Clark's taunt, pointing at her ring finger, waving in her face. That moment made Reese a household name. But Stephen A. said it also set the tone. It wasn't about basketball anymore, it became a personal show. Let's not forget how this all really started. If Angel Reese had never taunted Caitlin Clark during that Final Four game, would this even be a conversation? According to Stephen A., probably not. He claimed Reese chose this rivalry, and now that Clark is giving it back, stronger, cleaner, and without the drama, people are scrambling to protect Reese from the fallout. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to like or subscribe. Now this is where things got even more intense. Stephen A. took aim at Monica McNutt's most explosive claim, the idea that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white. He didn't just dismiss that claim, he obliterated it.
It was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point.
According to Stephen A., Caitlin Clark isn't a media darling because of where she's from or what she looks like. She's a star because she's that good. From half-court threes to triple doubles, she's been putting up historic numbers that the WNBA has never seen from a rookie. But what came next really flipped the script. He reminded everyone watching that Clark's impact goes way beyond the box score. She's selling out arenas, she's breaking viewership records, she's dragging the Indiana Fever from the bottom of the league into the national spotlight. And then came the dagger. Stephen A. said it's not Clark's race that's making her famous, it's her game. He pointed out that if skin color were the reason for fame, then where's all the hype for Paige Buchers? Or Diana Taurasi? You could feel the silence in the studio. Let's be honest about something. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this rivalry. She didn't start it. But ever since Angel Reese tried to build her own spotlight off Clark's shine, the drama hasn't stopped. Reese has made headlines with taunts, jabs, and now a full-blown foul that's got the whole league watching. But Clark? She just keeps playing. Stephen A. Smith wasn't just defending Caitlin Clark. He was defending the integrity of the game. He said loud and clear that this wasn't about race. It was about respect, maturity, and performance. And once again, he brought the facts to the table. Clark didn't explode when she got hit. She didn't scream or beg for attention. She took the hits and played through them. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, according to Smith, has been playing a dangerous game, taunt hard, play rough, and when it backfires, claim victimhood. And that's when Stephen A. dropped the bombshell. He accused Monica McNutt and Chini Ogwumike of doing something no one at ESPN ever wants to admit, weaponizing identity politics to shield bad behavior. He said they're not analyzing basketball anymore. They're pushing personal agendas and hiding behind them when the backlash comes. Stephen didn't sugarcoat it. He was furious, and he wasn't alone. Klay Thompson's father, a former NBA champion himself, chimed in to defend Clark and echoed what Stephen A. had been saying. He said Clark's popularity had nothing to do with her being white, and everything to do with her long-range shooting, elite passing, and game-changing energy. The truth was finally out in the open. Caitlin Clark is changing the WNBA, like it or not. She's bringing in new fans, inspiring young girls, and making the league money. And while she's doing that, Angel Reese is trying to cling to that one viral moment from college, hoping it keeps her relevant. Stephen A. said it best, this isn't about color, it's about class. While the debate exploded on air, Stephen A. Smith didn't forget the scoreboard, because numbers don't lie. In the same week that all this drama unfolded, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double in a dominating win over the Chicago Sky. Final score? 93-58. Clark didn't just play well, she destroyed the opposition. And who was sitting on the bench for a chunk of that blowout? Angel Reese. But this is where it gets even more revealing. Stephen A. pointed out that this so-called rivalry isn't really a rivalry at all. One side is delivering results, making history, and elevating the game. The other side, constantly playing catch-up and stirring controversy to stay in the spotlight. He even laughed at the idea that people still try to frame Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark as equals. His words, "It's not a rivalry when you're losing by 35, and that stung." Now let's zoom out for a second. Clark isn't just a great player. She's become the face of the WNBA. She's the reason little girls are showing up in Fever jerseys, the reason ticket prices are surging, the reason ESPN even bothers covering women's basketball this much. And what did Monica McNutt say in response? That it's all because Clark is a white girl from the middle of America. That comment didn't just miss the mark, it exposed a bigger issue. It revealed just how far some commentators are willing to go to discredit success they don't like. Stephen A. didn't let that slide. He said, "Talk basketball, not bitterness." And the room fell silent. To close it all out, Stephen A. Smith delivered a final message, not just to Monica McNutt, not just to Angel Reese, but to everyone watching the WNBA right now. He said the league is at a turning point. And Caitlin Clark is the reason. Clark is bringing something the league has never truly had before: mainstream relevance. She's pulling in fans who never watched before, lighting up social media with every no-look pass and deep three, and becoming the centerpiece of conversations that used to be reserved for the NBA. But Stephen A. left us with one last warning. He said if the WNBA wants to grow, it can't afford to get stuck in petty feuds and biased commentary. It needs players who elevate the game, not ones who drag it into chaos. And it needs analysts who tell the truth, not push narratives that crumble under facts. And then came the hammer. Caitlin Clark doesn't need the media to protect her. She lets her game do the talking. And lately, it's been yelling. He called out the ESPN echo chamber and told Monica McNutt flat out, "If your whole argument depends on discrediting Clark's achievements because of her race, maybe your argument was never about basketball to begin with. This isn't about feelings, this is about facts." And the facts? Clark is leading the league in impact, and the numbers, performances, and fans prove it. Angel Reese may still have her place, but it won't be handed to her, not by Stephen A., and not by anyone else.